Alright, so today we're going to be going over just a couple of the indoor plants I've got going here, just so I can give you an idea of what I'm working with. Here we got my wandering Jew that I'm nursing back to health. It came from a tiny little cutting like this, and it's about a year old. Here we've got my Arabica coffee. It's not looking too bad. It's got a couple bum leaves, but no big deal. Next we're going to get into my window stuff. Here's probably my favorite little monkey puzzle tree here. These are pretty cool things. When they're completely grown up, they're much better to look at. Here we've got a couple orange trees. They're still relatively young. Here's one of my 7 jackfruits. I've been having issues with spider mites in here. Hopefully we're gonna have that under control pretty soon. We got a nice little pineapple started here. That's gonna be a couple years before it puts anything out, but. And then we got my Siam Queen basil. This is one of my favorites. It smells kind of like licorice and it's got a similar taste. This one's almost 2 years old. Then we'll move over here to another jackfruit. This one I used the little Prax method on to top it off, and started to get some more growth down here, but nothing really ever came of it. They're just little buds and they're not doing anything. But yeah, that's what happens when you prune the top off a jackfruit tree. Here we got my cocoa tree. Again, this is taking a little bit of the brunt from the spider mite, so some of these newer leaves are a little bit beat up, but I'm crushing all of these that I can by hand. And we got another jackfruit tree back there in the back. Some of these are pretty nasty looking because of the spider mites, but what can you do, right? And here we got a gala apple tree. I've pruned it down a little bit, trying to keep it fairly small. And we've got some more tomatoes started there. The one in the very back, that would be an artisan cavern tomato. And it's actually pretty cool because it ends up looking like a bell pepper on the inside, and you can actually make stuffed peppers with them, but they are tomatoes. And these ones right here are the infamous Prax cherry tomatoes. The last ones that I planted died, so I had to start some new ones. These are some more artisan cavern tomatoes, and then these are gonna be more of those tomatoes when they finally start to germinate, but they're a little behind the power curve. Right here in this little alcohol bottle, this was just one of my little experiments. I just planted a pea in there, and you could see it's doing pretty well, and it really has almost no dirt in it, which is pretty funny. I mean, that's the size we're looking at, and it's not even full of roots yet, so I guess that's pretty decent. Here we're moving on to the next jackfruit tree. I have 7 of these total, and then right behind it is an additional jackfruit. That's the one that the pea plant is climbing up. And if you look, this is probably one of the worst ones getting eaten up by the spider mites. This one actually has a little web that I have to destroy here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, they're starting to anger me greatly. Here I had a couple garlic cloves that I was going to start, but they didn't turn out so well. And then we've got 3 more monkey puzzle trees, and then I got some volunteer in there. I'm not even sure what it is. Here's my Persian shield that I brought back from the dead. It's doing pretty well, I would say. I love these things. They look so awesome. And then finally we'll end on a positive note with my banana. That started out, I got that as a little 3-4 inch pup, and that thing is, I don't know, it's pretty decent size now. I'd say 10 to 12 inches tall. I wish I could say the same for my outdoor plants. They are really struggling this year. Nothing compared to what they were last year. Here I've got a bunch of different tomatoes and peppers that I started, and I've got maybe one that fell out of the container here, and it's growing. Got a little miniature rose bush over here. Not even sure what these are, but I'm letting them grow. Here's another 2-year-old basil that I transplanted outside because I didn't have room for it, and I really didn't care if it survived or not. Then we've got, these were supposed to be all the different peppers as well, and that's the only one that's doing anything, so we'll see how that works out. Here we've got a pink banana squash. I've never had this before, but you know, this one's showing a little bit of potential. There's no female flowers yet, but we'll see what happens. And down here was more tomatoes, and once again, one of them fell out of the container, so I'm not sure which out of all those it is, but we'll find out when we start getting some fruit. This is my little compost pile where I never planted these potatoes, but they decided to come up anyway. These are actually from potato skins when I made mashed potatoes one day. And I started digging up to look around, and there were roots in there and everything. It's crazy. This is probably my best one so far. It's a bumblebee tomato. They're the yellow and black ones. And it's got some decent growth on it. It's been topped, so hopefully it'll start branching out pretty soon. These two here, I believe, are golden treasure peppers. I don't remember exactly because, again, these ones fell out of their little container, but they were the ones that started sprouting, so that's what ended up in the pot. Here we've got an atrus, that's a sweet pepper, and then we've got a golden treasure pepper next to it. Then we've got a couple Roma tomatoes. These ones at the little local nursery, they had a giveaway for Father's Day. You could pot one up. Well, each of your kids could pot one up for the father, so I ended up with 2 more tomatoes. You can never have enough of them. And then these are, again, these are cuttings from one of my basils from a long time ago. These things are probably off a 3 or 4-year-old basil, but they're less than a year old, I think. And then we've got, I think this is zucchini. I don't remember. This is another one that was part of the little giveaway. Yep, that's a zucchini. And then this one's probably a cucumber, or what's left of it. I really don't care too much about these. I just kept them because they were free. So, market more slicing. I don't even really eat cucumbers. But yeah, like I said, my indoor is doing way better than my outdoor. And of course down here we've got chocolate mint. I cut that all the way back to the rootstock from last year, and that's what came back. And the same with this one. It's another chocolate mint. That one's doing pretty good. This was an elderberry, but I don't think it's gonna make it back this year. And yeah, that is pretty much everything we got here in southern Utah. The weather's been kind of weird, so haven't really had great luck. So we had some freak freezes, and then we had some freak hot flashes, and I took everything out too early, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got left. So yeah, we'll be back with more videos. If you're interested, leave some comments, let me know what you want to see. And alright, we'll take it easy.